Okay, we're recording. Happy Tuesday, guys. Welcome to this week's Leadership Zoom. If you guys are brand new, this Zoom happens every single week, same time, same place, same link. And I'm actually showing my face today. It's 9 o'clock where I'm at. I usually look crazy, and I still kind of look crazy, but I decided to get up and actually put my hair in a little bun or something so I didn't look too crazy. So today is a little bit different. So this all kind of happened weirdly. Um, I had somebody scheduled for today. They had to cancel because they had a death. So prayers, please, to our fellow uh, 200K that had something happen and they couldn't do it. And the same day that she canceled on me, Suzanne Pelzer messages me and is like, hey, do you still do your Tuesday leadership Zoom where you interview somebody? And I was like, yes. She goes, well, has anybody ever interviewed you? I'd like to interview you. And I was like, okay, cool. And it was funny because I've been doing this call now for almost 2 years, and I've never I've never actually shared my story and tips and all that. And I said, okay, that sounds cool. So that's what we're doing today. So I'm going to hand it over to Suzanne, who is going to interview me today. And yeah, so here we go. Suzanne, you have to unmute yourself. Oh my God, this is craziness. My hair.
Oh my goodness. Well, Lisa, I'm super excited because, I've watched your Zooms over the last, weeks, basically since I found out that you do these, and started, thinking about interviewing other leaders and things like that, because I do love this aspect of our business. And truthfully, I think that a lot of us as leaders can find so much to relate to when we talk about the actual grind of this business, the actual journey, the actual rise and fall. And so I was honored that you interviewed me a little while ago. And I think that we can all learn something from you because you've interviewed hundreds of people, and the perspective, the knowledge, the experience, all of the wisdom that you've gained from everyone's journey. I think that, if we can pour that everybody, I think it'd be amazing. So I'm really excited to hear from you today and make this Zoom about you, your journey, your amazing success in this company, Level's fastest growing 200K. I actually didn't know that, and I think that's super fun. So I'm excited to hear about that. But let's just dive right into it. Lisa, let's talk about the beginning, how you found out about Level, what your journey was. Did you start as customer promoter, that kind of thing? Let's hear how it all started for you.
I started as a customer. If you guys don't know, because we have so many new people, but I was with one other network marketing company before Level. Before that, I was a waitress and a bartender. And that's what I did my whole life, was bartend and wait tables. And that's like all I knew from the time I was 15 years old. And I never thought about doing anything like this. Network marketing was definitely not on my radar. It was definitely not something that I ever thought to do in years. Hold on. Let me try to mute everybody out again. Okay, there we go. Network marketing isn't something that I ever thought that I would do. You guys, sorry, I got a new puppy, and right now she is not cooperating. Stop it. You want me to play with her. And basically, I didn't think I would ever do this, but I was kind of backed into a corner. And I think that's why a lot of people look at network marketing, is because they're desperate. That's where I was. I was struggling. Bill collectors were calling me. I felt like I could never get ahead. I was working 70 hours a week at the bar and restaurant that I worked at. I would go into work at 10 in the morning. I wouldn't get home till 2:30 in the morning. And it was, that's how my life was. I never saw my kids growing up. It was a frustrating thing to work that many hours and always just get by and always struggle and always have another bill, more months left than money. And, I was kind of backed into a corner at that point where I was like, what am I going to do? I have all these bills coming in, and I am about to lose my car and my house, which did happen. I actually foreclosed on my house, lost my vehicle, went back to renting, and I was 37 years old, and I was like 36 years old, and I was like, what? This isn't what I pictured life to be like. One day I woke up and that's what it was like. And I was basically the only person working in a family of 7. And I was tired. And a girlfriend that I worked with at the restaurant was like, you should take a look at what I'm doing. And I'd love for you to try this product. And I was like, not interested. As soon as I found out it was network marketing, I'm like, those things are pyramid schemes. You don't make any money doing that. And I started getting more curious because people at the restaurant that I worked at started getting this product from her. And I'm like, well, if they're all getting it, maybe there's something to this. So I decided to try the product, and it worked for me. I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. And still at that point, I didn't think about selling it. And a couple weeks went by, and she said to me, I said to her, I don't have money to pay for this product. And she said, well, why don't you get involved, and maybe if you can just get some customers, it'll pay for your product every month. And I'm like, what do I have to lose? Like, okay, maybe that'll work. I never thought I'd make any money. And when I first got started, I thought if I could just make an extra $500. I think that's where a lot of people start. They don't think about making 1,000. They don't think about making $1 million. They think about an extra 500. Like, that is what seems reasonable to people. And that's kind of where I came in. I'm like, maybe if I work this really hard, after a year, I'll make like an extra $500, and that'll change my whole life. Like, that would be that thing that happens every single month that sets me back. Like, that could be my saving grace. And I also had a car. After they repossessed my good car, I was down to this really old car, only one door open. We all had to crawl through one door. Like, it was so embarrassing for my kids. I had to crawl through the back door to get to the front. The windows did not roll down. It had over 300,000 miles on it. And I'm like, this car, it was something every month with that car. Like, I was always having it in. And I'm like, I'm going to have to get a new car, and I have no money. Like, if this car breaks down, we are screwed. I don't know what we're going to do. And I thought, man, if I could just make that 500, that would be the car. Like, I would be able to probably get a car. So I jumped in, and my first month I made $500. And I was like, okay, maybe I need to take this more seriously. Maybe there is money to be made here. And the next month I doubled that. And I'm like, okay, I definitely need to take this more seriously. But what's so crazy is, I always like to share this part of my story because I think it resonates with a lot of people. But when the first couple people that I told were my mom and my sister, and they were like, you're crazy. Those things don't work. What did you get yourself into? And I remember leaving my mom's house and going, I'm quitting. Like, there's no way. If they think I'm crazy and they don't even want to help me, like, who is going to help me? I don't have that many friends. I work constantly. I have a small family. They're not supportive. The two most supportive people in my life are telling me that I'm crazy. I'm going to quit. Like, I almost quit. And I always think about that because if I would have quit, I would know I would still be waiting tables and bartending right now. It's just so crazy. But we listen to the people around us. We trust what they think. And they say that 90% of people that start network marketing quit in their first couple of months because of what someone else said. Because someone said, oh, that didn't work for me. I tried it. Oh, that company, blah, blah, blah. Or you don't make any money doing those things. They're pyramid schemes. I mean, that's why so many people quit, because of what someone else says. We let so many people stomp on and kill our dreams. And it's really just because they're uneducated. They don't get it, just like you didn't get it when you first started. But I remember I went to my upline at the time, who had just started like a week before me. And she's like, or a couple weeks before me. And she's like, Lisa, just come to this meeting with me and don't quit. Just come to this meeting. And if you still want to quit after this meeting, you can quit. And I went to that meeting with her, and that changed everything. That changed everything because it was getting around a bunch of other people. And there was only 15 people in the room in a VFW hall in Toledo, Ohio. But out of those 15 people, 3 of them were making over $10,000 a month. and I sat with them, I talked to them, I touched them, and I'm like, okay. I left that night and I was like, if they can do it, so can I. These people were no different than me. I'm like, they didn't have like better backgrounds and they all had stories. And I'm like, if they can do it, why can't I? Like, I am not giving up. So I decided, and I just think it's so important if you're in network marketing that, and especially if you guys are new. I mean, I know right now it's COVID and you can't get to meetings and stuff like that, but get on stuff like this because getting around like-minded people and hearing people's stories and journeys, that's what's going to make you, that's going to be that thing every day that kind of keeps you going because you're going to have so many people on the outside telling you you can't do this and you're going to make your first post on Facebook and somebody's going to unfriend you because they're going to say you're salesy and you're going to have all these things coming and it makes you want to give up on yourself because that's what other people do. They kill our dreams. I don't know why they do, but they do. And friends and family seem to be the worst for most people. It's usually strangers that help us out in the beginning or acquaintances. And I just am so grateful that I got around people. And every week after that, I plugged in. I was always on calls. They didn't have Zooms at the time, but I was always on calls. And that's what kept me going, because when I had somebody negative in my ear, I said, nope. I just got off a call. There was a waitress on that call. She is now making this much money. So can I. Like, it just kept me going. And I was actually with that company for 6.5 years. I got to a sizable income my first year. And I did that my first year without ever signing. Only one person I knew I signed my first year. Everyone else was an acquaintance or a stranger. It was one person in my immediate circle I signed that first year. Like I hit the wall right away. Friends and family didn't want what I had. They were all negative. People were in front of me on Facebook and I only had 300 friends at the time. And it was not good. I remember people from high school messaging me going, did your Facebook get hacked? Like they were thinking that someone else was posting this stuff. And it was it was a tough road in the beginning, but I knew that at 36 years old, what else was going to come into my life to change my situation? Like I was tired of telling my kids no. I was tired of putting things back at the grocery store. I was tired of being on food stamps every other week because my money would go down and then I would go apply for food stamps again. And I was tired of that. And I wanted a better life. And I thought, what other shot do I have? I mean, I'm probably not going to win the lottery that I don't play. Definitely not going back to school. So this is my jam. Like I'm going to stick with this. And somebody super smart, my first year in network marketing told me this, and this is why I tell everybody this. You've got to be on the 5 to 7 year plan. Businesses do not grow in a day. Anybody that starts a traditional business outside of, network marketing, they go into it knowing they're not going to profit a dime for probably the first 5 years. They go into it taking out these huge loans and it might not even work. Most traditional businesses fail within the first couple of years. And when you come into network marketing, you're coming into a company that's already working. You already know it's not going to fail. If Lavelle is debt free. Lavelle is, if you go look at how many people at the top of our comp plan, people can get there. Lavelle is debt free. It's a company that's been around for 8 years. It's not going anywhere. So that's why it's so important, because it's like, it's people that start traditional businesses, those fail every day, you guys. Those fail and they don't go anywhere. Opening stores and restaurants, they just don't work. And you're coming into something that works. It's proven. People are proving it every day. All you have to do is now give it the same time, dedication, and consistency that you would have if you would have put 200 grand into it. $500,000 into a new business, except you get to start with this one and you get to start profiting usually your first year if you are, getting on things like this and listening to what your upline's telling you to do and studying it and learning it. You don't start a new job and know what to do right away. They train you, right? Like you come into something like this and you're going to learn what works for you, what doesn't. Most people quit within their first year and it's like, you didn't even, like, that's crazy. You didn't even get to see what worked for you, what didn't. You didn't even get to get good at anything. It takes like a full year just to feel comfortable in your own skin. It takes like a full year just to feel like you kind of know what you're doing. And that's a business. So you've got to be on that 5 to 7 year plan, guys, and don't give up, because there's nobody. I've been in network marketing now for 10 years, and there's not one person that's been with me for 10 years that is not making money. The only people not making money are the ones that quit. I don't know where they are now. I know where I would still be if I would have quit. I'd still be waiting tables, probably living with my mama during COVID, because I wouldn't have been able to afford to pay my bills. But this business has allowed me to have a completely different lifestyle, and I'm nobody special. You know, I barely graduated from high school. Like, I'm talking barely. I have no college experience. I'd never done anything like this before. The only difference between me and somebody that quits within a month is I decided that I didn't want to. I decided I was going to stick with it. It's just a decision. And then at that point, knowing that it could take about 5 years, I always tell people, so what if you ranked one rank a year to get to the Lavelle top of the Lavelle comp plan? Your first year, you go 4K. Your second, let's just say that let's say it went slower than that. Who cares? What else are you going to get into that could retire you? I don't know. Is your current job ever going to get you to $10,000 plus a month ever? It's not. It's never going to get you to 10,000. Most of you do not work jobs that you are ever going to see the kind of income that I'm seeing with this. And I'm telling you that it's unlimited income. All you have to do is stick with it, and it's going to change your life. What if it took 10 years? What if? Ask yourself that. What if that was worst case scenario? Would it be worth it? Would it be worth it at that point to be able to live the lifestyle that you wanted? Would it be worth it at that point for you to be able to, you know, buy your kids whatever you wanted, go on vacations anytime? Would it be worth it? Would it be worth it to be able to help other people anytime you wanted, and give back to the community? Absolutely. Absolutely, Crystal. So I found Lavelle. Sorry, that was kind of long, but I left my last company because the company started going backwards, period. Nobody was promoting to the top rank in the company. It had been months since I saw a brand new, like, 200K in that company. What would be at 200K? Nobody was getting there. And not only that, but it was getting harder and harder for me to just get people to an extra $500 a month. And the company was just making a lot of mistakes, things that they were doing. And, you know, I never thought I'd leave that company. I thought I was going to be there for my whole life. But when I started seeing Chastity Marie was with my old company. She was a sideline. She was not under me or anything like that. But she was somebody that I met, and we had become really, really good friends. And when she came over to Lavelle, her and I continued to be good friends. And long story short, we decided as friends to meet here in Arizona. I was with my company. She was with Lavelle. We decided to meet here in Arizona at a resort because she just wanted to get away. And she was going through some things in her life. And she was like, I need a friend right now. And I said, okay, we're not talking business. Don't try to recruit me. I don't want to go to that company. And she's like, no, just friendship. Like, this has nothing to do with business. Well, we get to this resort, and the entire weekend, everywhere we went, somebody was asking about the damn patch on her arm. What is that? What is that? And I'm thinking in my head, dude, this is the best marketing tool ever. I didn't want to admit that to her, but I'm thinking, like, it's genius. People keep asking her. Like, I have to actually think of ways to bring up my business. People are just asking her, what is that? And it was starting conversations. I remember actually being in a restaurant. I don't know if Chas is on today, but I remember being in a restaurant, and her and I are sitting eating dinner, and these, like, table full of ladies are yelling over to her, what's that Band-Aid on your arm? And she kept going to the room, grabbing samples, bringing them back down. Like, we would be at the spa. It was ridiculous. And I'm like, if this is not something slap in the face. So I didn't say anything that trip. By the end of the trip, though, Chas will tell you, I started selling it for her. Like, people were jumping in, asking questions. And because I was listening to her, I was like, oh my God, it's this, this, and this. And I didn't even use in the product. And it was so funny. I was selling the product for her by the end. But I remember we left, and after we left, I had messaged her and I said, Chas, I want real numbers. I want you to tell me, because she had only been with Lavelle, you know, at that point, maybe 2.5 years. I said, in 2.5 years, and I'd been with my other company 6 years. Give me numbers. How many people on your team see over $1,000 a month? And when she gave me those numbers, my jaw hit the floor. I was like, what? I need to look at this comp plan again. because something is not right. Like, I remember seeing the Lavelle comp plan. Gosh, probably like the 6 months Lavelle was brand new, and I remember seeing the comp plan, and I remember telling Chastity, "It looks like a great comp plan, except I just don't think this company is going to be here. I don't think it'll be here in 6 months because it pays out too much money. Like, it's just everybody's getting free product, and I can't tell you not to do it. It looks good. I just don't get how it's going to still be around." Well, I was wrong. Here we are, 8 years later, debt free. Lavelle is absolutely still around doing its thing. But once I saw her numbers, I was like, okay, I need to try this product. Because yes, the comp plan has to work, but I gotta care about a product. I gotta actually feel the product. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was gonna sign with Lavelle as long as the product didn't kill me. It didn't even have to work for me. It just had to not kill me. And the reason I say that is because I was previously in another company taking 9 different supplements a day. I was taking things in the morning, in the afternoon, some after this time, some after before I eat, some after I eat, before bed, right when you wake up. I mean, it was all over the place, and I was spending like $400 a month, and I wasn't feeling anything from those products, like nothing. So I just was trusting that all these vitamins were doing what they needed to do in my body. I didn't think you could feel vitamins. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys before Lavelle thought the same thing, but I didn't. I was like, you can't feel vitamins. Like, you just take these. So I was just trusting that they worked. And so when she said it's 3 steps, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to feel anything. Like, these stories, people are just making it up. Like, I just didn't want the product to kill me. That's all. As long the comp plan was too good that as long as the product didn't kill me, I was going to sign with Lavelle. Well, I decided I'm going to try this for a full month because I don't want to just try it for 3 days. I knew enough about supplements that you can't try for something for 3 days and it's not going to change your life. Like, if you really want to get a good vibe on what something's going to do for you, you got to give it at least a full 30 days. So I ordered, as a customer, 30 days of the product. And the first day I felt energy. I didn't know if I was making it up in my head. I didn't know if it was placebo effect and I really wanted it to work so I could sign with Lavelle. I didn't really know, but I continued to take it. And the same thing for the first 5 days. Energy, energy. I normally wanted to nap during the day. I didn't want to do that. I have aches and discomforts in my knees, and usually those keep me up like throughout the night. I'll wake up. I wasn't waking up through the night. It was actually the 5th night of trying Lavelle that I was like, okay, this stuff is good, because I slept through the night, and I don't sleep through the night. And when I say I don't sleep through the night, I mean I do not sleep through the night. I wake up every 30, 45 minutes, and I toss and turn. I get up. That's just my sleep pattern. And the fact that I slept through the entire night, I was like, there's something going on here. And then it was actually day 12 that I said, I'm sold forever. And that's the day that the aches and discomforts in my knees completely were not there. Aches and discomforts that every single morning for 3 years, I was getting up and had to walk around for about a minute before they adjusted, before they didn't ache. I got out of bed that morning, day 12 and 11, 12, and I was like, right away I noticed I didn't feel the aches and discomforts in my knees. And I was like, okay, these 3 steps have done more for me than these 9 other products for 6 years. This is a no-brainer. This is the best comp plan I've ever seen in the entire industry. Now the product, and it is a patent on it, 26 patents, like it just fit everything. And I'm like, this is just too good to be true. So I made the decision to turn in my notice at my last company. I was making more in 1 year than teachers making. I was making more in 1 month than teachers making a year. Everybody when I was leaving, they thought I was crazy. They were like, are you nuts? You're giving up, 500 grand a year, 400,000 a year. And you're going to just start over. Like, aren't you scared? I was scared to death. It was the scariest thing I ever done. But at the same time, I had already my plan. If I needed to go back to waiting tables and bartending till I got this thing going, I was willing to do that, because I could no longer look people in the face and tell them that they could make money when I didn't believe that. I needed to be someplace where I could literally be honest with people and know what I was telling them was true, that they could make money. And so I had no idea when I came over to Lavelle that I was going to do what I did. And I want to put that disclaimer out there. I remember asking Chastity, what do I do to beat your record? Because at the time, Chastity held the company record for the fastest 200K. And she's like, you got to hit it in 30 days. I think Chas hit it in like 31 or 32 days. I needed to hit it in exactly 30 days to beat her record. And I was like, that's my goal. I really thought it was a pipe dream. I didn't think it was going to happen. But it did. And it's crazy because I only signed like 8 people my first month. But those people sign people who sign people and sign people, and you know how that goes. I was doing all the right things for 6.5 years. I was successful in another company. So, you know, that first year over in Lavelle definitely was a lot of overflow coming and following from the other company that I was in. But I can tell you absolutely now, the last 2 years that I've been with Lavelle, it has, I haven't signed one person from that company, not one. Everybody has been brand new people that I have built up, and I build and build my network, because you've got to constantly be building your network and network marketing. That's just how it works. And I'm so glad that I never got lazy and just said, oh, I'm going to concentrate on this company to take me to $1 million. It's so funny because I got to 200K, and y'all know who Jamie Pecca is. Jamie Pecca didn't join my business till 2 months after that. And it's just so crazy to look at, when you look at an organization, the ups and downs. Like the leg that got me to 200K, that my biggest leg, isn't even here anymore. It's so crazy, the ups and downs of network marketing. But you know what I will say though is that it was the best decision, best move, best everything I ever did. You know, in 6.5 years in my last company, I helped 72 people total on my entire team of thousands ever get to $1,000 or more a month. 72. In Lavelle, we've just hit 700 people that make over $1,000 a month, get the auto bonus, 12K. 3 years compared to 6.5 years, 72, 700. Do you guys understand what that means? In my last company, I was the only one on my entire team that got to the top of the comp plan. Over here, we just hit 28 people. 28 people on my team have hit the top of the comp plan compared to 0 in 6.5 years. I mean, it just blows my mind. And I think why didn't I leave so much sooner? I could have been helping so many more people, but you know what? Better late than never. And now it's been crazy. It's been nuts. So I don't really have a huge story on, you know, usually when I do this call, I always ask people's story to 200K. It happened so fast. And a lot of people say, well, how did you do that? And I always tell people, I didn't think about anything. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was in the products. I don't even think I logged in my cloud office the first month. I swear to God, I didn't. I just did what Chas said, which was sign 2 customers, sign 2 promoters, teach them how to do the same thing. And then you repeat that. And then that's just kept, that's where we centered everything. We were doing Zooms, 5 Zooms a day, and 10 people were hopping on them. Just get anyone you can on, friends, family, just make sure they're on this Zoom. And then Chas is going to talk about the business and sell it for us. And then, you know, the next month I had gotten good at listening to Chas. So I started taking over those Zooms, and we just kept repeating those and doing them and doing them and doing them. So that's kind of how the journey began. And now here we are 3.5 years later. It's just crazy. Suzanne, you're probably gonna have to unmute yourself, but I don't know what else you want to ask me. I just talked forever. Sorry.
No, oh my goodness. No, I love listening to your journey. And as you're talking, I just think like, take your mess and make it your message. Like whatever you have going on in your life, it does not matter. You can do anything here. You don't need a skill. You don't need a big network. You don't need a big following. I mean, yes, it's going to take time to build, but whatever your journey prior to this looks like, take it and run. Let it be the inspiration to make a change in your life. And Lisa, like you said, you know, in corporate America, we'll just use that as an example. There's a top. You're gonna get to that top income, and that's it. Like there's no more. I mean, you have no room to advance. Like there's a top somewhere. Right here, there's nothing. And so I always ask people, is your current, like, let's say you have a good life now. Let's say you make a good income. Let's say, you know, life is good and you're sitting good. Are you living out your dream life? Are you actually able to go and today purchase everything you ever wanted? And I'm not saying money rules everything, but you need money to dream, like to build your dream life. You need money to travel. You need money, you know. So I always ask people that are sitting great in their life, like, are you actually living the life that you want, or are you just comfortable and able to take care of your responsibilities, right? Like, there's a difference. And I love this industry for that reason, because it allows us to dream. It allows us to take our dreams and actually make them come true. And then when they come true, it allows us to dream again. And it's about starting, the $500 a month, the $1,000 a month. That's life changing money. Until you make that money, you don't even realize that there's an ability to make more. I think it's crazy. And then the other thing that I was thinking about when you were talking is the power of one, Lisa. Like, everyone's looking to sign that big rock star, or that person that's in another company that has this huge team. Listen, the power of one means you've inspired one person's life to change, and they're passionate about how they feel. That is the power of one. And those are the people that are going to run, because those are the people that need this more than they even realize they needed it. So I think that everyone's waiting for that big rock star to roll in the door. I mean, of course, we'd all love 10 of those to just knock down our door. But the thing is that this business finds us when we're not looking for it. I wasn't looking for it. You weren't looking for it. And, as a brick and mortar business owner before, I bought a business that was about to go bankrupt. Well, I took that business and I turned it around 8 years. 8 years I owned that business. Turned it around into a multi-million-dollar business, and then sold it when I joined Lavelle, but whatever. But what I'm saying is I get that side of it too. So I get what it takes to build a business, and it is a process. And in this business, you work on you first. You work on you, and that when you work on you and you build you, that's truly what builds your business. So Lisa, let's kind of shift gears back to Lavelle for a little bit. Obviously, I went 200K in 10 months, so I can't even imagine what 30 days looked like, because I felt like my head was spinning for 10 months straight. 30 days, I cannot even imagine. But let's talk about, you mentioned, the people that you start with aren't always the people that you finish with. And I completely attest to that. I mean, I've had legs drop off. It's tough. It's mentally tough. Those people are sometimes your very best friends. Like, that's where I came from. And so let's talk about, the ugly side for a little bit. Let's talk about, getting up when you fall down. Like, what setbacks have you been through, and how did you get back up? How did you restart? Let's say if you lost momentum, what did you do to get it going again after that whole, downslide of things?
I did actually. I got to 200K in 30 days, and then the next month I lost it. Um, and I was like, oh crap. Like, what does this mean? Because, you know what I mean? It was like a shock of, I just lost a rank. What is that? Like, what if this all starts going backwards? Maybe I did make the biggest mistake of my life. I mean, you start thinking all these things, but, it was all happening so fast. And a lot of those people that were signing up with that excitement just decided they weren't going to work the business. We have that all the time. I was just talking to somebody the other day on my team, and I'm like, man, I don't think I've had anybody VIP in 4 months, 5 months. Like, this happens. Like, I there's times where like my PPA is 0, and then like right now my PPA is 1 for the last 30 days. But before that, it was like 13 for 30 days. Like, I'm all over the place. I'll go 2 months sometimes, no promoters, and then all of a sudden I'll sign 15. I'll sign 10. I'll sign 4. It depends on what's going on, because I've learned that in network marketing there's ebbs and flows, and like when I'm planting seeds, sometimes I'm in this really big huge season of just planting seeds where no one's signing with me, and then sometimes it seems like everybody and their brother is coming out of the woodwork at the same time. But I just keep going. I actually went 9 months in network marketing in the 10 years that I've been in. I went 9 months without signing one person once. And it was not for a lack of trying, but I literally thought my career was over. And no matter what I did, who I talked to, I was constantly putting people through the pipeline, but nobody was biting. Nothing was happening. And I literally thought it was done. I thought, well, I enjoyed it. Those $10,000 paychecks were nice for a while. And I kept doing all the right things though. I kept listening and reading and just investing in myself and making sure I had my IPAs, and every day I was doing the right things and planting seeds and adding new people to social media and talking to people out and about. And I just kept doing it. And another month would go by, and I would go, I still haven't signed anyone. What is going on? Like, I started literally getting in my own head. But then I said, nope, Lisa, tomorrow you get up and you do the same thing. And I did the same thing, and I did the same thing. And you guys know the first person I signed after my 9-month break, okay, 9 months of signing no one, the first person that I signed was a lady that I met 4 months into that. 4 months into not signing anyone, I planted a seed in Florida. A lady I met in Florida who lived in Idaho, had never done network marketing before. She owned a salon. I ended up giving her some information about my business. And do you know, 5 months later, after I met her, that 4 months, I continued to plant seeds. She ended up signing with me, and she literally took me from $8,000 a month to about 20 grand a month. One lady who had never done network marketing before. When we say it's one person, and don't give up, and don't quit, and don't think, you guys, don't you think that I was freaking out? Don't you think I was thinking I am never going to sign another human again? But how cool is it that I kept going, and I kept planting seeds, and I kept doing the right things every single day, and I kept taking care of my current team. Every day I showed up for them, and no matter what was happening in my business, I every day showed up, and I signed. The next person that I finally signed was somebody that changed my whole business forever. When we said it just takes one person, it truly, I hate when people say it only takes one. Obviously, it takes more than one, but let me tell you what, one like-minded person is going to get you to 12K. You and one other person that gets this is going to take you to 12K. You and two other people that get it are going to take you to 200. I've watched people on my team. When I look at my downline right now, it's crazy to look at exactly what took me to $1 million. And I would say maybe 20 people I'm talking, I didn't sign them. I didn't sign all these people. I would say personally enrolled, I think I have 7 that really, really, truly show up every day and work it. I have a lot that get free product and a lot that kind of dabble, but I'm talking 7 me's. And then throughout my downline, other really hard workers, I'd say maybe there's 20 of us total in this organization who, like, I'm talking live, breathe, dream, and sleep this. Again, me only signing maybe 5 to 7 of those. That's taken me to $4 million last month. You don't need, it's not about just who you sign. It could be somebody that someone else signs. In fact, that's been a lot of my business, is I'll sign someone who signs someone who signs someone who signs someone who gets it. That person gets it. And the nice part about Lavelle is, that's how it works. It benefits everyone. It's a cool thing. Network marketing is cool, but there's been so many ups and downs. I've lost legs before that I was like, oh my God, this is over. It's so crazy for me to look at what took me to 200K in those first 30 days isn't even existing anymore. Can you guys imagine if I would have stopped and said, oh, I'm at 200K. I'm just going to keep letting these people take me to 200K. They're going to keep me there. Dude, if I would have stopped growing my network and just sat back and rode the wave and let the people under me continue to work their business, I would not be here. Because if I wouldn't have kept recruiting and kept posting and kept doing the right things, then Jamie Pecca wouldn't have came into my business, who really took me to, we all have heavy legs. Jamie Pecca is probably 60% of my business. She took me to this crazy, ridiculous place in network marketing that I can't even believe I'm at. And that wasn't until, 3.5 months after I signed. So it's so important. Hold on, you guys. Sorry, getting people out. It's so important to just know that you're going to lose people. I've lost friends. Oh my gosh. I've got a couple of rules I always like to share with people. I've got the 24-hour rule and the 5-minute rule. Okay, the 24-hour rule states that when you've got drama on your team, not really drama on your team, but yes, kind of drama on your team, but somebody says something about you, comes to you, complains to you. Let's say somebody calls you today and says, so-and-so on your team said that you are an irresponsible leader that never shows up. You're a joke, whatever. Okay, well, I learned a long time ago that a lot of times what people tell you isn't true. And when you really dig into it, that's not even what was said. Um, and I also learned that you can really ruin relationships and friendships. And to be a good leader, you got to follow the 24-hour rule. The 24-hour rule states that you can react, not for 24 hours. And what I always tell people to do is write down. I like to do a Facebook post to me, only me. Let's say somebody does something, I want to make this mean, angry Facebook post. Maybe I want to just, maybe it's about politics. Maybe it's about anything. This kind of goes for your family, everybody. I will write a Facebook post to only me that's all snarky and, F this, whatever. And 24 hours later, if I still feel that same way, then I'll make it public. Do you know I've never made one public? 24 hours later, I'm like, what was I thinking? Oh my God, I've learned so much since then. Thank God I did not message that person this. I'll email somebody exactly what I think of them, of what they've said about me. And do you know 24 hours later, I have never sent that email because I look at it and go, holy crap. I always call it the hangover. Y'all know when you're drunk and you do something stupid and you're like, oh my God, if I was not drunk, I never would have done that, right? You're like, oh, what was I thinking? Well, you've got to wait for the hangover, okay? That's what I call it in this business. It's the 24-hour rule, because if you react right away, you're reacting like you're drunk, right? You're reacting like, oh, and then the next day you are going to wake up and regret everything you just did. This has saved me so many relationships. It's made me a better leader. It's made me a better person. I always say it's why I'm still here 10 years later and I've kept so many of the people that I started with. It's because I've learned how to be a good leader. I've learned how to not react. And then I have the 5-minute rule. The 5-minute rule, people on my team know this, my kids know this. When something is not going right in your business and your life and you want to bitch and complain, you've got 5 minutes. After that, we figure out a solution. Okay, you got your 5, go. I let somebody complain. I set a timer at 5 minutes. I go, okay, that was 5 minutes. Now let's figure out how to get you out of this. Now let's figure out how to move on from this. Because if you're going to get on the phone with somebody, guys, as a leader, when you start getting, 3 people on your team, 10 people on your team, 20 people, 5,000, and all you're doing all day is putting out fires, you can't do that. You've got to let your team know that this team is not about negativity. You can come to me. You can complain about your coworker. You can complain about your upline, your downline, your sideline. You can complain about the fact that you haven't signed anybody in 5 years. You can do all that. 5 minutes. And then if you're not calling me to figure out a solution and be positive and turn this thing around, then don't bother. Because I've got 50,000 people on the team. We don't have time for it, right? As a leader, you have to be a doctor of solutions. So, I always say follow that 5-minute and 24-hour rule, because the 24-hour rule is going to save you from looking like an ass. It's going to keep people on your team. It's going to make you a better leader. And it's going to give you time to figure out what's going on with the drama surrounding your team before you jump in and make assumptions that completely would be different 24 hours later if you would have just figured out those answers that you needed to answer. And then the 5-minute rule is going to keep you from these 5-hour conversations on a phone call that get you down in the dumps, that now you want to quit network marketing because you just got off the phone with somebody that literally just complained the entire time about they haven't signed anybody in 3 weeks. This happens, and you've got to create these rules for yourself, for your team, and it's going to make you a way better leader. And I totally got off topic. How did I even get on that, Susan?
That's okay.
Susan,
You know what? You have to set boundaries, and you have to decide what you will allow. And as leaders, everyone thinks that you're the one that can fix it for them. So they do come to you. You get it a lot. Everyone comes to you with everything. But it's about the solutions and how are we going to change what's happening. Like everything has a solution, right? So it's like, and I tell people this all the time. And I remember when I was super brand new and Paul and Jason had asked me to speak on stage. And I was speaking on stage with like Maria and Billy and like all these amazing leaders. And I was just this little I wasn't qualified to be there, right? And Jason asked me, I don't even know what he said, but like asked me what I think it was, like what I did to grow my business or something like that. And I just thought, and we weren't prepped, so I was super nervous, super scared, and I didn't know what to say. And I wanted to say something good. I was speaking in front of 50,000 people, and I said, the first thing that came to my mind and the first thing that came out of my mouth is, when I wake up in the morning, who am I going to help today? And to this day, that's how I live. Who am I going to help thrive? Who am I going to help on my team? It's not about me. It's not about me. Make it about everyone and everything else. Who are you helping thrive? Who are you helping rank? Who are you helping hit their VIPs? Who are you helping thrive for free? That is the income producing work that we do. Everything else, like literally everything else, is white noise. The drama, the whatever person leaves, like blah 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 blah. Like it doesn't matter. Who are we helping? Keep yourself focused and centered on that, and you will never go wrong, right, Lisa? Like I just think you'll never go wrong. So many people get wrapped up in all of the things that aren't moving the needle.
Yeah, you say the same thing I do. I never ever wake up in the morning and think, who am I going to sign today as a customer or promoter? I think, what new friend am I going to make today? Who am I going to look for to help? Like, I can't wait to do this. And I think that that's the difference between somebody that really stresses out about this and kind of thinks about quitting. You've got to take quitting off the table. I say that constantly. I've been saying that for 10 years now. Take quitting off the table. Quitting cannot be an option for you, because as long as quitting is in your mind and in the back of your head, it's always going to be a way out. You kind of set an expiration date on your success. I mean, how many of you honestly on this Zoom right now have said things to yourself like, if I don't see anything in a year, I'm quitting. If I'm not there in 2 years, I'm done. If I don't get to 12K by, guess what, you guys, you might as well quit now. You cannot put a limit, a time limit on your success, on your goals and your dreams. It's going to take time. There's something super relieving. And just when you take quitting off the table, guys, there's something that is so, it's like off your shoulders. And now it's like, okay, now that I've decided quitting isn't an option for me, I'm in for the long haul, whether this takes 10 years or 5 seconds, I'm going to stay. Suddenly, all you start to think about is ways around the things that are obstacles. But as long as quitting's there, it's always going to be a way out for you. And guess what? That's probably something you've done your whole life. That's what most people do. Most people quit diets by, they say that people set New Year's resolutions by January 15th. 90% of those people have already broken their New Year's resolution. This is what people do in life. You have to be different. Network marketers are different. The people that are 200Ks in this company got to 200K because they thought differently, got to 200K because they took quitting off the table. You choose your hard in life. You guys, you want to know what hard was? Hard was waking up every single day, going to work at 10 in the morning, not getting home till 2:30, 3 o'clock, never seeing my kids. Every time the phone rang, I would look at it and it was a bill collector. Every single Christmas, I never got them what they wanted. It was always something ridiculously not even close to what they wanted. Putting things back at the grocery store. That was hard. You know the hard I choose? I choose this hard. I choose the hard of dedicating to myself to a business for 10 years to see where it takes me. I choose the hard of the no's. I'd rather get 1,000 no's and finally get to my goal. I'd rather choose this hard. It's hard. Network marketing, I always say this, it's not difficult. The system in Lavelle is pretty easy. Sign 2 customers, 2 promoters, teach it, right? The difference is that it's going to take that special person that can not care about the no's. The special person that's not going to care about what your friends and family say if they unfriend you on Facebook. I look back and I think where I am today and all the things I've been able to accomplish in my life since I've been in network marketing, the way my kids' lives are now, the way I've been able to give back and to things that I'm passionate about and help other people anytime. I'm that friend now. I used to be the friend calling for the loan. Now I'm the friend people call for the loan. That feels great to be able to go, here you go, I can help you. All this is done for me. I would go back and choose the hards of this business. Friendships, losing family member, people that didn't support me. I will choose this hard any day of the week to get to the end result that I am at today versus the hard every day I chose of my last life, right? I always say my worst day in network marketing is still better than my best day in my last life before network marketing. So you guys have got to choose your hard. Everything in life is hard. It's hard. I don't care what you decide to do. When you are on your deathbed at 90 years old, you're going to look back and go, that was hard. Okay. You are going to go through hard with your kids, your family, your spouse. You are going to go through hard whether you marry this guy or this guy, right? You're going to go through your hard whether you have these amazing kids or these amazing kids. We all have our hard. And whether I choose the hard of waking up and working 70 hours a week in a restaurant and never seeing my kids, I'm sorry, but I will choose this hard every day of looking silly. I would rather message 50 people a day, spammy messages like I did in the beginning, looking crazy until I learned that was crazy, until I learned a better way. But I will do that all over again and lose friends to be where I am today and choose that hard and the embarrassment of saying I'm in network marketing, like all the things, that we go through. You have to choose a hard. It's all going to be hard. Which hard are you going to choose? I hope you'll choose the hard that's going to take you to unlimited potential. I hope you choose the hard that you decide what you make. I hope you choose the hard that you decide when you give up and when you quit and how long you stay. You have no say in any other kind of hard. You go to work every day for a boss that's going to pay you. This always blows my mind. I always tell people it's about mindset. If you guys all worked for me, okay, every single one of you were on my payroll, and let's say you made $20 an hour. I could call every single one of you in the morning and give you your schedule for the day, and I would say, Crystal, here you go. I just saw Crystal comment, so I'm going to use her. Crystal, today I need you to message 20 people on Facebook and send them this. I also need you, while you're out and about today, to hand out this many of my business cards. Crystal, I need you to do this, 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 and this, right? Crystal, without a doubt, would not hesitate. She would walk out her front door. She would get on her computer, and she would do all the embarrassing things she's doing for Lavelle for $20 an hour for me. Why? Because it's for sure money, right? And Crystal's like, this is my boss. I got to do what they say. And Crystal's also not going to have an issue doing it because she's not taking it personal, right? It's not her business. She's not thinking, oh, these people are telling me no. They're telling Lisa no, my boss no. I'm just doing my job, right? For $20 an hour, Crystal will do all the same things. You ever see those people at the kiosk in the mall selling, try this lotion, use the crimper. They're paid $15-$20 an hour to be told no all day long. Do you think they think twice about it? But yet you guys, it cracks me up because for yourself, you won't get out there every day. For $1 million a year, you will not get out there every day and message 15 people, hand out 15 of your business cards. You do it for $20 an hour from some crazy person, but you will not do it for yourself. And I'm telling you right now that you guys, it's a mental process. I had to pretend that I was where I was before I got there. I had to pretend that I was someone else, borrow someone else's confidence. Next time you're talking to someone, oh my God, we could be here all day, Susan, because I could talk about price point and don't look needy and make sure you're putting value on your product. But at the end of the day, it's all going to be about your confidence and the mindset that you can acquire. You have to pretend that you're already there. Next time you're talking to somebody, I don't want you to talk to them like you're a brand new K, a 4K, a 2K, or whatever. I want you to think, what would Lisa do? What would Suzanne do? If they were in this situation right now, would they be sitting here woeing and offering $50,000 off to this customer? No, they don't need this customer because they already are making money. You know what they would say? Guess what? This product's here and it's going to change your life when you want it. I've got $15 off. Let me know. Okay. But I got a waiting list full of people I got to get to. So I don't have time to answer any more of your dumb questions. We wouldn't say that. But what I'm trying to say is that you need to start thinking about how I could never be where I am today if I couldn't pretend that I was already there, if that makes sense. You've got to be able to believe in yourself enough and change your mindset. Pretend if you need to. I want you all to pretend that you work for me and I pay you $20 an hour. And today you need to message 15 people. You need to follow up with 20. You need to add 10 new people to Facebook. Pretend, because you would do it in that perspective. And that's what I did in network marketing to get to where I am right now, is I changed my mindset. I'm still scared of things. I still get nervous. I still get, I still hate the word no. Those things are never probably going to go away. I don't love messaging people. I certainly don't like making new friends all the time, every second. And like, I hate that initial beginning. Why did you friend request me? Like, all the things that y'all are scared of, I am scared of those same things. But you know what? I pretend that I'm not. And I just do it because I know where it will take you. I know where it will take you. There's this awesome book, and I always point it out. I think I pointed out in the probably the last 5 Zooms I've been on. But exactly what to say. The Magic Words of Influence. I found it in an airport. You can read it in an hour. I refer to this book every day when I'm in conversations with people, and these little magic words and phrases really help me. These places where I don't feel so confident, and places where I'm like, oh, I don't know what to say next. We still all get there. I still get there today where I'll message somebody and go, hey, I'm in a message with some girl and this is what she's saying. What would you say back? I still ask for advice. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm never going to know completely what I'm doing. But what I do is I'm smart at utilizing other people on my team that are strong at things that I'm not, right? We're all a team. I pull in 3-way calls. I'm constantly making sure that I'm pulling in another person, because when I can't close somebody, somebody else can. Maybe they're not into me, right? So you just have to know that whatever you're going through right now, I promise you, I've had deaths, breakups. I went through a really hard time 2 years ago, and I didn't want to work my business. I think I was like a zombie. I was like a zombie for a month. And it's times like that that I'm like, thank you, God, for this business, because in situations like that, you guys, if I would have been waiting tables and bartending, I couldn't just take off for a month. I couldn't just like, hey, I'm not coming to work, going through something. It's going to be times like this, like that come up in your life when you get to, a loved one that's dying and you get to be on their deathbed and not leave 1 second because you didn't have to work. Those are the things that you're fighting for. The being with your kids and not missing a thing to do at school. Those are the things that you're fighting for. But it's all about, what are you willing to do it, right? What are you willing to do, or what heart are you going to choose, right? I don't know. I just babbled.
No, I totally love it. And I think, it is what you choose. It's what you choose. Your business is an energy transfer. Like, it really, really is. When you wake up in the morning, if you hear this all the time, you set your intention, all you have to do, you guys, even if you're not confident, you just have to choose. You have to choose one over the other. You have to choose every single day, and every single day it gets easier to choose. So when you wake up and choose and transfer your energy to what you want instead of what you don't have or what your setbacks are, you just choose bigger and bigger all the time, and you just it just becomes more engraved in your soul. The confidence is built, and it's just whatever you have to do to choose and continue to choose the opposite of what you normally do. And it just, you guys, it builds a lifestyle, it builds a life, it builds a person, it brings out the person that you've always been, that you just were so scared to be, or you were so, your mind, like, I mean, exactly what Lisa says, like, we are conditioned to do things for $20 an hour. $20 an hour is a good wage for the average. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so silly. The work that people put in for such a small reward for 2 weeks holidays in the summertime. It's just, it's insanity. So you know what? Yes, this business is hard. Yes, it's going to test you. Yes, it's going to, there's going to be highs and lows, peaks and valleys. There's going to be, you're going to grow more than you ever did in your entire life in the shortest amount of time possible. But it is freaking worth it. It is, for any degree. It doesn't matter. You might not be wanting to build as big of a business as Lisa. My business isn't as big as Lisa's, but guess what? It still affords my life to be on my own terms, and it allows me to do whatever I choose. And that is the ultimate in this entire life, is to choose what you do, what you want, what you allow, what you think about, everything. It's incredible. So, Lisa, I don't know if there's anything else you want to add. I mean, I really do feel like we could be here for hours and hours talking about many moving parts of this business, because
I feel like that every time I interview at 200K, I'm like, God, I wish we had another hour. I didn't get to ask everything. I mean, this was more of I would say definitely this was more of a mindset Zoom. I didn't even get to any like actual business building tips. But you know what, guys? There's plenty of videos out there. Go to my Facebook page. literally under my stories, like on my main page, there's videos of tons, there's just videos after video. And I have a YouTube channel that I have every topic you could think of, it's there. So, you know, at the end of the day, I just hope that anybody watching today, what they got out of this is don't give up, be on the 5 to 7 year plan. You know, life is hard. This business is hard. You know,
And
there are
so are
going to be
you.
days that there's going to be days that you're like, I have been doing the right things for a year and I still haven't signed my first customer. And then one day you're just going to start signing people. Like, everybody moves different. Don't compare your journey to someone else's. I think that just kills a business, is when you start comparing yourself to another person. You don't know their story, their background, their personality. If they've done something like this before, if they already had a network. You're comparing apples to oranges when you're comparing yourself to someone else. So the only person you can compare yourself to is who you were yesterday. If you're doing a little bit more today, stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit more, if you're proud of yourself today, a little bit prouder than yesterday, that's the only comparison that you can make. And knowing that you're moving forward little by little, we're all different. And I'm telling you guys, even if it took 10 years, I want you to say that every single day. Even if it took 10 years, would it be worth it? And I don't really think there's anybody on here that would say that making over 10 grand a month, a week, it wouldn't be worth it to wait 10 years to do that. I mean, life is going to go by. Whether you decide to stay with Lavelle and plug away at it for the next 5 to 10 years, it's going by, y'all. So why not do what you're already doing, whether even if you got to work during that time, and just enjoy Lavelle, love Lavelle, have fun with Lavelle, work it, get up every day and can't wait to tell another person because you just love what it's doing for you. And I promise you're going to start to see a difference in your paychecks. You're going to start to make some money with this. It's going to start to change your life financially. It does with everyone. If you can get in that right mindset, it absolutely will. I know we just got paid 3 minutes ago, and I already see messages coming in my private messages about how ridiculously crazy, like ridiculously crazy. I just had somebody, I'm looking at my messages coming in. They're coming in like crazy. You guys go make your payday posts. Those are so powerful for me. Even when I just put gas in my car, for whatever it did for you this week, it's those little things that people are looking for. And they're like, I want that. I want an extra $50 a week to put gas in my car. It's those things that matter. So happy payday, you guys. Suzanne, thank you so much for interviewing
Come
me.
on, Julie.
Thank you, Lisa. Like,
was
thank
weird.
you. Honestly, you pour into everyone else, and I am honored that you could share your story and your journey with us today. And you guys, like, I'm ready to ball my paycheck today. Like, oh,
I haven't looked yet. I have
listen,
not looked.
listen. Do not give up on this at all. It is freaking like, okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, you guys. Thank you for hopping on. And next week, I can't remember who I have, but whoever it is, it's good. I've got the rest of my lineup for the month is so good. You guys do not want to miss it. Thanks,
guys.
guys.